for Monday the 13th of November, 4:03. And is there anybody online?
Yep,
Yeah,
Any comment?
no comments.
no comment.
Online with us, we have Chuck Putney, Jackie Kelly, and Leon Johnson, and Kat.
Thank you. Okay, first item on the consent agenda, minutes from the RGB full meeting on October 16th. Motion to accept.
I move to accept.
Second. Mike
Second.
seconds. Any questions on the minutes from October 16th, regular meeting?
I don't know if it says it. I think it's toward the end, where it mentions that the policy committee will meet before the next meeting. I don't know if we want to change that to after, considering how policy committee meeting meets after. That's the only part of the minutes that I would change, and I'm trying to figure out where.
It was your decision during that meeting, so it has to be in the minutes as that way.
All right, fair enough. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That was all I had.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Of course.
I have one comment. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there because I thought all the meetings were going to be at 4. So, are the other meetings going to be at 10?
No, we said that December and January, we're going to be at 4. February, we usually don't have a meeting, and then we'll decide in March what to
No,
do
I
next.
meant the committee meetings.
Committee meeting.
Policy at
The
5.
policy is today at 5 after this one.
That's correct.
Okay, no other comments? All in favor of accepting the minutes, raise your hand, aye. Aye. Okay, minutes for the policy committee meeting Monday, October 16th. Motion.
I have a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, Mike, second.
No Fran here today.
Any question on this? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes from the finance committee meeting Thursday, November 6th.
So moved.
No, I'm the, so, okay, second.
Seconded.
Yeah, I'm the only one that was there. Oh, you were online.
I was online.
Any questions? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Payroll warrant 10 and 10/16. Motion.
I motion to approve. Second.
Mike seconds. Okay. Any questions on the payroll? None? All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Now vendor warrants 10/14 and 10/15. Motion.
I motion to approve
Okay.
vendor warrants.
Second. Okay. Any questions on the vendor warrants? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Next, we have cash flow, revenue and expense, treasurer's report. You should all have that in your Dropbox. Okay, committee reports. Finance committee, Fran isn't here. He's the chair of the committee. He's doing negotiations right now. But Becky gave us an update on the initial rollout of the budget for next year. And one thing that stood out is that the health insurance for our employees is going up 16.7%. And we have no jurisdiction over that number. I guess the faculty and the state bargain on this, and they come up with this number, and we just have to accept it and include it in our budget. As for salaries and everything else, that's being negotiated at the present time, so we don't have a hard number for that yet. That's all we really have in finance.
Right.
Like he said, there was no big dream list, or, the educators came in with their very reasonable budget requests, and we're gonna have a meeting on the 27th. The finance committee is gonna meet again on the 27th to go over any updates that they may have to add. Okay, that's it. Can't answer any other questions.
So I'll just reiterate, you said that, these are hard numbers that we have to include and we can't, we have to work with them, but we're working to not impact students' learning and programs and things like that, so, as we formulate the budget in time for town meeting day in March, so.
Very, very little we have
And
jurisdiction.
absolutely.
Okay, action item, nomination for massage therapist instructor for adult ed. I didn't get anything on that.
So
It's
moved.
right,
It's in there.
Leon, it's right here, Leon.
Oh, here.
Okay, so moved by Leon,
Okay, we have a nomination, and it's for a Laura Morley, adult education instructor, a massage therapist, and folks understand this is for the adult program in the evening. It's not for the day students.
Correct.
Okay, they did a background check and so forth on the individual, graduate of the Florida College of Natural Health. Southern Vermont Medical Center Integrative Therapies Department, she's worked there, an instructor in various businesses. And she owns her own business at the present time since 2008. And it was interviewed by our superintendent and our adult coordinator, Bob Haney. Okay, should we have a motion?
I think Leon made a motion.
Okay, Leon made a motion, okay, second,
Also,
okay, second. Any questions on this individual?
I just want to state that, I use Massage for You services. Thankfully, I think I'd be a grumpier dude if I didn't. Should I abstain from voting because I'm a client of services, or is it not necessary to do that? I'm seeing Dave shake his head, so I think that's fair, okay. I just wanted to put that out there, just in case there was.
No, it's totally fine.
Excellent, yeah, thank you.
Any other comments? Anybody? Okay, seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, superintendent's report.
Oh, things are moving along quickly. Everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, great. So first of all, I want to say thank you to Command Composites for flying their KMAX helicopter up here last week, actually a week and a half ago. I'm not sure if folks got to see it, but there was a fantastic article in the Bennington Banner about that. And I was able to watch some video of it that was sent, and it was pretty cool. It was flown over the school a couple times, did a takeoff and a landing, obviously. A lot of folks interested in coming out to take a look at it. And that was really fantastic. So I'd like to thank Rob Bonney for setting that up. It was truly incredible. There's a lot of excitement around that. Also today, we hosted a veteran brunch for folks at Command Composites here, right in Culinary, right next door to you, right there. It was really well attended. They really, really appreciated it. And it was sort of a nice thank you. It was really, really nice. I'd like to let you know also that our fall work keys testing is finally done. That's our mandated testing from the state. We will repeat that in the spring, sometime around March or so, where all students who have not reached a 5 on that test will receive a retest. That is a huge undertaking. I know I've talked about it before, but I'd like to thank Lisa Harrington, our guidance coordinator, Dave Dutcher, who is one of our substitutes who works for us all the time on work keys, as well as Meg, for putting it all together. It is very disruptive to the school day and testing, but it is done now, and we're happy with that. So also, I told you last month I'd report out on our student count for the school year for our fall enrollment. I'm just going to switch screens here for a second so I get the right information. So our enrollment is stable. Last year we had 331 students enrolled in the fall. This year we have 330 enrolled in the fall. So we're one student different. So I think that's pretty good. I do not have a final FTE number for you yet. All the superintendents and the SUs have not sent back their data reports to us yet to finalize the FTEs. That has to be done by Wednesday. So for those who don't know, the FTEs help drive our budget and our tuition rate. And so with our new schedule, you're probably going to see a dip in our FTE count. but it's going to level off. So what I mean by that is, in the past 20 some years that I've been here, our semesters ran. Program students would be first semester 2.5 hours, second semester 1.5 hours, and they'd flip spring and fall, spring and fall. That was due primarily to scheduling with Mount Anthony. Last year, there was a change afoot to make the schedule more even, which we've now implemented. And so students are with us for an even 2 hours in the spring, 2 hours in the fall, and 60 minutes for our intro classes. So we're not going to see the same spikes and valleys that we've seen in FTE counts in the past. It will take a little bit to level out, but I hope to have an FTE report for you next month, as we'll need it for the budgeting purposes. And I would like to give you a breakdown and I can't put this on the screen because it has some student information on it that I can't share publicly, but I'd like to tell you where our students come from to give you an idea. They equal to 330. I'll highlight them. 187 from Bennington, 2 from Danby, 2 from Dorset, 5 from Londonderry, 7 Manchester, 27 from North Bennington, 12 out-of-state students, 1 from Pollitt, 33 from Pownell, 1 from Searsburg, 34 from Shaftesbury, 3 from Sunderland and Woodford, and 16, I already said, from Arlington, equaling 330 students this fall. So that is ironically almost identical to last year's report. I had to actually look at it twice today to make sure it was accurate, because the numbers are almost to the T, which is good. We still have room for improvement. We have enough seats for another probably 100 students, and where the shortfall is where it will always be, is in our year 2 programs. Our year 2 programs are always smaller historically, mainly for the reason that if you enroll in a program as a senior, let's say you take Culinary 1 as a senior, you're not coming back next year, you've already graduated. So it depends on the demographics of enrollment in each program, of how the year 2 program looks. But historically, they're all smaller. Not to the extent as 1 or 2 students, it's not like that small, but generally a first year class will have anywhere between 12 and 18 students, and a second year program will have anywhere from, say, 6 to 10 at the most. And that's been like that as long as I've been here. So enrollment is stable, and I think that's great. I would like to increase enrollment a little bit, but we do have our challenges with regional scheduling, and funding and transportation and all the things that I know the state legislature is hoping to take up this year, to help address some of these things. I reported to you last month and the previous month as well about the APA study that is going to the legislature for review. We, as a group of directors and superintendents, have also met with regional superintendents to discuss outcomes and pathways of that document. I think they've been very productive meetings that we've had. There's no agreement on what the governance structure should look like. That seems to be the big thing out there for discussion. We all know that funding has to change, and we're hoping that the legislature will take up some new funding ideas for CTE. For those who are on the finance committee, you know how complicated it is, and the formula is archaic at best, and definitely needs to be changed. So sort of looking forward to that change. It's not going to happen this year, may not happen next year, but in the future, I'm hoping it's going to help budgeting be much easier for us and have less impact on our sending school communities and their budgets. And so for those who are watching at home tonight, or this afternoon rather, Southwest Tech and tech centers across the state have to set their budget first before the sending schools set their budgets. That's why we are so early on starting in the budget process. Our board will have to adopt our budget, hopefully at our December meeting, so that we can have the tuition rates available for our sending schools, so they can start their budgeting process. So we're always the first ones out of the gate, for those who are new to our board or are watching on Cat TV today. I also want to give a shout out to our cosmetology program today. They just got back literally before you guys walked in the door. And I'd like to read to you the awards that they won. I just have to get it up here in my string of text messages. Give me just 1 second. There it is. So 3 winners. left to right, Autumn took third place in classic style. Lucy took second place in classic style, and Destiny took first place in fantasy style. It was a competition that the students went to. Actually, they went up last night and competed today. I don't have the photo to put up on the screen for you because I just got the pictures from the instructor on my phone, but we will post it to our social media. So congratulations to them. It was a nice, fun event. And also, backed by popular demand, starting this month, will be our student spotlights, which are in the news guide. I know that people really enjoy seeing those. Those are going to kick off again this month. We are also going to start doing alumni spotlights and profiles as well, and program teacher spotlights as well, so that the community gets to not just know our students, but also our alum and also our faculty and staff. And so you're going to see those sprinkled around through the news guide. And why we do it in the news guide and not the banner. The news guide is a regional publication, particularly in the Northshire, that everyone gets. And we have found it much more effective. We use the banner obviously to advertise and things like that, and we appreciate all their coverage. But our student spotlights go in the news guide because it's just more widely distributed. So that's what I have for my report today. I am popping between 3 different meetings today. Negotiations is going on over in the assembly room and with the teachers, and this meeting's going on, and then we have a caucus meeting going on in room 147, the law enforcement classroom. So we are popping around, and I really appreciate everyone changing the time to give this a shot for 4 o'clock for some folks. Hopefully it works out. And like I think Jackie asked in the beginning, we're going to be running these at 4 o'clock for the next couple months. And then after the elections in March, we'll redecide if we're going to stay at 10, 4 o'clock, or some other time at the preference of the board. So happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Just a curiosity, out of the out-of-state students, were they all from the same sending school over in Hoosick, or are there any from other sending schools?
No, great question, Asher. They are all from Hoosick Falls Central School District.
Thank you.
Yes, and so just to clarify that, one of the reasons that you don't see more students from Hoosick Falls is because of the tuition that they have to pay. They pay a full out-of-state tuition, for lack of a better term, where students or schools in Vermont only pay a portion of that tuition. So it's very expensive for Hoosick Falls to send those students to us. If they had more money, I know they would send us many more students. We've talked about it numerous times. So, but thank you for the question, Ashley. Anything else I can answer for anybody?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Under Chair's report, I didn't get the message about the Veterans Day meal today. I don't know where you folks advertised it or where it was put, but I didn't see it anywhere.
It was just for command today, Ken. It was the employees at command.
How about some of those meals that are, where people come in and pay and participate once a week or whatever? Is that started yet?
Yes, it has, and those menus should be posted on our Facebook page. Sandy, I know I can't see her on the screen, but I know she's right there. Sandy, are we open to the public yet? Are we or not?
Not really. I haven't had that indication. We give our menu to our faculty and staff, and we send it next door to MAU. So it's basically in-house, you might say, to our campus. But I know many, many people are looking forward to just that.
Yeah, a few people have asked.
Yeah, and we'll let you know as soon as it does.
And the other thing you mentioned about the group of students going over to New Hampshire for the cosmetology competition, someone posted a nice picture online, and all the girls were in a bus smiling away, and they had all their equipment with them, so that was nice. I did see that, but it wasn't on our site. It was just somebody that was involved with that group of girls. That was good, a nice advertisement. I'm glad they did well too. Okay, that's all I have. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to bring up?
Yes. I
Yes,
do.
go ahead, Leon.
At that last meeting, I asked you guys to let me be representative to the the RGB board at the annual school board conference, and I did. It was a great meeting. It was myself and the superintendent from SVSU attended the meeting from this part of the state. It was for all of the board members, even though you didn't attend, a summary of everything that took place, and live videos were posted by the Vermont School Board Association and sent to every school board member. So you can see and click on that and go through everything that took place at that meeting that they highlighted out for us. One of the key things that I wanted to make sure I spoke up in one of the meetings, in the breakout meetings, that established policies, model policy on wellness, comprehensive health. And we had went through some scenarios of how to set up the policy and what was involved in that and so forth. And I saw that there was a gap, and I brought that up. And that gap was that the technical centers were not really consulted so far on how this new wellness policy was going to roll out and affect them. And I brought up the point that we have a store, we have a culinary class, and we teaching students to sell certain things and through that. And that should be considered when they get ready to put this model policy in place. And they thought that was great. It was, when I said that, a lot of people that was there was really shocked to know that all these things happen at a technical center, especially one that's joint to a school. So we on the books, and that policy, the wellness policy is set to go in place in 2025. So we got a year and a piece to work on that and provide information back that of a concern, so that they can get implemented at the same time the policy get rolled out. That was
Leon, I want to say, don't interrupt you, but the wellness policy, I'm glad you brought that up for the state, because we are currently struggling with, and it's a little bone of contention amongst faculty and staff, of what we can do for fundraisers and sell, et cetera, in the campus store, what we can feed students, all those types of things. And it's a real issue for us. And we've been following the letter of the law, but it's very challenging that we are not allowed to sell things that do not meet the healthy food guidelines, even for fundraisers during the school day, half hour before and a half hour after. And it has really restricted us what we can sell in our campus store as well. So I hope that some of those get taken into consideration along the way, because these are our programs, and it's difficult for those who have been on the board for a while. The campus store, as you probably know, I jokingly say it used to run like a 7-Eleven. I'm not advocating that anymore, but the products that we can sell are very, very restricted, and it is problematic. So thank you, Leon, for representing us.
No problem. Thank you. One other thing that I wanted, the keynote speaker was Daryl Campbell from California, and he gave the keynote speaking of effective strategies for fostering a strong governance team. But the basic thing that I wanted to just say out here, because it's all online, I want everybody going to look at it. One of the things they talked about was school boards, where everybody run and what they want to do for a school board, and everybody is sort of thinking about themselves. But if you thought about it, that every time you go, if you get sick, it's not your own child that's going to be working on you, somebody else's child. If you get into trouble and you need help, the lawyers or the courts and things are somebody else's child. And so it was a bunch of those scenarios out there that everybody need to realize, that we want to treat everybody like we will want to have our kids treated as a, and not just be focusing on the individual things that a lot of board members think about just their kids. So that was really well presented. And so I would like for you to take a look at that if you have a chance. And that's all I want to say about the annual school board meeting. Next year, I think we should have a lot more people going. We ought to.
Leon, thank you for the update and representing us at the annual meeting.
Absolutely no. Leon, perhaps during the policy committee meeting, we can discuss when we would like to take a look at this wellness policy or whatever it was that you were mentioning. It sounds like something that we can definitely at least touch on, and we don't have to get too far into it, but definitely sounds like something I'd like to hear a little bit more about, during the policy committee meeting. Thank you.
And
Anything else?
before we go, if you allow me a second, I got this photo up for cosmetology while Leanna was reporting, and I wanted to share it on the screen real quick. You can see that there. That was from today.
As we'll roll. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say that I like meeting at 4 p.m.
I'm glad you were able to make it and we were able to change it for you,
No,
really.
I think for everybody. Hopefully we'll see some more teachers and parents come out now.
Okay, anything else? No? Can we have a motion to adjourn
Motion to adjourn.
then? Okay,
Second it.
all in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you.